Alrighty, good morning. Let us talk about command. There's a lot of people here today, which is nice. Does anybody have very specific questions? Anybody have a curiosity, a wonder? I feel like ideally that's what this class is supposed to be. It's supposed to be people who have gone through, played with it a little bit, and got, I can't figure it out. So if you have a... Smart plans?
Yeah.
Okay. So smart plans, custom smart plans are pretty easy to make here. I've made a bunch now. I've got 12 of them. Most of you have received a smart plan from me because I've set everybody in the Market Center up on a smart plan that emails you guys about the classes that are coming up. So you've been texted and you've been emailed by my smart plan. So I know that they work really well. Yep, because you're here. Well, you're here, and most of you signed up for the class on Wednesday. So if you want to create a custom smart plan in your smart plans here, and if you click on the red KW, up at the top here, you can see the words. So that's something that's nice. If you can't remember what the icon is, you can click that little KW there. Up here in the top corner, there's a Create button, and this allows you to create a brand new customized smart plan to however you work, however you are... Good morning. However you are, however you operate. If you are the kind of person who only wants to text message people, or you only like just the reminders because you want to pick up the phone and call them and you want that personal touch, you can just set up a smart plan that every 3, 5, whatever weeks, days, however you want, those reminders will show up in your command system. Now, the command system really only works if you are in it every single day. Every day, your workflow should start with logging into command and seeing what's going on. Because as you add these smart plans and you create these automatic touches, some of the things that are, some of the pre-built smart plans in here, like let's just say the 8x8 new contact smart plan. So it's going to send an automatic text message. That does require you to set up a Twilio account. It's a paid account, but it is pretty cost effective. It's about 0.7 cents per text message sent. So like $20 can go a real long way if your database is less than a couple hundred people. If you have thousands of people, you only get probably about 2,000 text messages per $20, 2,500 text messages. And that's incoming or outgoing. So you can respond with text messages. So there is a little bit of a cost there, but you can avoid text messages if you don't have a Twilio account set up. Any of these that say automatic send a text message, it will not send a text message.
I feel like a text message would be more effective than an email, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely go right to a person's phone. Most people check their text messages before they check their emails. Sometimes people go weeks without checking their emails, and that includes agents. So this one has a 7-day delay, and then it's a touch task. It says interaction task with client. So what it does is it sends a reminder to you to say, hey, send an email to this person that says, let's go grab coffee. It's not going to automatically send that email, but you can edit it to automatically send that email for you now. That is a thing that happens now. We can automatically send color HTML, like graphical emails via our command systems. Cool. All right, good. And then we have, let me see if I can get, there we go full screen. So, and then we have another delay, and then here's a phone call. This one is just a reminder to make a phone call. So in your task, when you log in that morning, the task is going to say, call Joe, Bob, at this phone number as part of the 8x8 smart plan. So you know that's exactly what you have to do. There's no like, what am I going to do today? How am I going to how am I going to create value for the people in my database? You don't have to think about it. Like it's already done for you. You're just going to call them and say, hey, I emailed you, because you'll be able to see in your history. Let me go here to, go here to my Johnny Tester guy. So in your timeline right here, every time the smart plan sends a text message, it's going to log right here. So you know that that's what happened. Anytime it sends an email, it's going to say, hey, an email from this person. And if it's coming from your KW account and you're logged into your KW Chrome, Gmail account, like right here on the browser, then when you click view email, it's going to open up your Gmail account and it's going to display the email that you sent, that it sent on your behalf. So you know exactly, hey, this is what I talked about and this is what I'm going to be able to do. This is probably going to be the best and easiest way for you to touch your clients and to stay top of mind and to create an automated system. And you know, these are just 8x8s. This one right here, it only touches 8 times. But then you can create another one. There's birthdays, there's home anniversaries. So all your past clients that you've sold homes to, look back in your files and look at the day you close escrow, put them on the home anniversary smart plan so that at least every year they're getting an email from you that says, congratulations on your, you know, on your home anniversary. You know, you can set up a new one. I think this one just says, let's see what the touches are on this one. So it's a touch task that says send a gift or a card, and then delay 6 days, and then a phone call. So I believe the phone call comes on the home anniversary date, and then the 6 days, maybe the 6 days before. I don't really know how that would set up. I wish I feel like one of the features they need to have is set a date and then days before instead of a delay, which is in the future. Have a days before so that you can say, oh, on this date, because when you add someone to if I added you to the plan today, in 6 days I'm going to get a task that says the phone call. So I would have to know that in 6 days is my anniversary, my person's home anniversary date. Add them to the smart plan exactly 6 days before, so that way, on their home anniversary, I'm calling them, and then 6 days before their anniversary, I'm being reminded to send them a card or a gift or whatever it is you want to do. So that would be something that you would have to kind of have a little bit of foresight going into, is 6 days before, add them to the smart plan, so that way all the reminders are appropriately, timed.
I have a
Anyways,
question as far as
yeah.
the email. If you already have an email that you want to use, you can it'll open that one up, this thing, or does it have to be a?
Yes, you can. That's yes and no. So the email, yes.
You can pick your own email.
So if you go into your settings and then down here for the command email, if you click manage, this is going to tell you, this is where you're going to put where the email is coming from. Now, I use a KW email account for this, so if you're using a Gmail account or some Yahoo or whatever, I don't know if the ability for it to track the emails is going to be the same. It's why I recommend that you get a KW account. It matches with your branding. It looks professional. Your data is your data with our company. So a lot of people would come from different brokers and be like, oh, well, I have to have my own because if I end up leaving, they're going to steal all my contacts and all that stuff. But
No,
we don't.
mine is I have a
don't do that.
website, and it's being hosted and all that, and it has my own. So it actually mine is richard@jursteam.com.
Sure.
So it's something. It would still be Keller William. It's the team of mine wherever.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So you can, apparently it doesn't want to load today. I don't really know. So in this manage setting here, what's supposed to open up is it asks where you what your email address that you want it to come from. So it's pretty much just a reply to, so that when the system sends it out, it looks like it's sent from that email address. And then when they respond to that email, it will respond back to the email that you specify.
Right.
But whether it can track, I know like for Gmail, I have my KW Gmail connected here. So if you're the web provider if it's a Google Suite,
It's actually it's a GoDaddy.
yeah, sometimes for their email, sometimes they use like a Google Suite, so it looks like Gmail, but it's just like KW is a Google Suite. It's Gmail, but it's like a branded Gmail. And GoDaddy uses their own like web hosting. Okay, so then most likely you probably wouldn't be able to log in as your email and have it track that way. If it was any sort of Google Suite, though, you would most likely be able to log in for that. So
I'd be able to use it, but I just wouldn't be able to see the.
yeah, you'd be able to send emails via because this command email is what actually sends the emails. Your email is not actually sending the email, because I'm linked up, I think that it actually does send it via my email. So you would have to play with these settings, which I'm so frustrated that it's not loading right now. I don't understand why it does that, but I'm gonna refresh this, see if I can't get in here again. Maybe if I clear out all my browsing, which is typically what,
Slows everything down.
yeah, it typically makes everything better. They update commands so much, and the behind the scenes and everything. So when you, if you don't clear your browser settings at least probably like once a week, you can run into problems because the computer will store bits of data about the website, and when they change the code on the back end, your computer is going to try and look at the stored data before it reloads new data. So if you just go in and clear your browser, your cookies, and all that other stuff, not browser settings, but cookies and cache. It's all the things that we love.
Maybe they're working on it.
Yeah, maybe they're working on it because it still is not working out. There are, it says you can connect more apps by going here. I've actually never done that. Let's look at the marketplace real quick. They might have like a GoDaddy setting back here that, maybe it's our internet. It seems slow. Command compatible, transaction management, collaboration, email and marketing. What do we got in here? Market leader, command email, and syncs and integration. I'm not sure what that is. So command compatible, dot loop, command email. So there's different apps in here that you can, that are, apparently you can hook up to your command system. There's coaching and training down here. So,
It's 360 something, I forget what it's called.
well, there is, pricing, Office, oh, that's Office 365. So if they use like a Microsoft system,
Kind of copy that somewhere.
yeah, if they use like a Microsoft system, then you might be able to, if they use like Outlook, like if their email is like the Outlook based, then that might actually work with that for Office 365. So anywho, so let's take a look at the smart plans. Let's build a custom one here. So what do we want to call it? Let's call it, we'll just go with custom. Custom touches. So there's not really anything else that you can do down here. The category is pretty much contacts. There are smart plans that you can build for your opportunities, which is transaction management and basically your sales pipeline. So you can create those. I don't know if you can create those in opportunities yet or if they are only built there, but eventually you'll be able to change this category because from smart plans you should be able to do any of them. And then the trigger event, what they're working on doing is creating trigger events other than manually adding a contact to a smart plan. That's a trigger event. What they're working on is being able to add, like let's just say you get a Facebook lead from your campaign that you're running. Your Facebook lead is tagged Facebook lead. The trigger event now is anytime you tag someone Facebook lead, they're going to be added to a smart plan that's called Facebook leads, and then they are automatically added to a smart plan that touches them, 5 or 6 times or whatever via email and text message, that sort of thing. Another trigger event could be just a new contact is created. So when the contact is created, they're automatically added to a welcome smart plan or something. So, yeah, or a monthly touch. If they have an address, they're automatically added to a neighborhood monthly smart plan. So those are going to be the things that we're going to be able to do in the future. But right now, we're pretty happy with just being able to create our own smart plans. At least I am. So there's no trigger event. So what you do is you just click on whatever you want to do. You want to create a task, make a call, send an email, send an SMS, text message. You want to set a delay, or you can add to a different smart plan. So when you get to the bottom of a smart plan, you've touched them 4 or 5 times via email or text message, then you have the opportunity to add them right to a new smart plan. So they get done with the welcome email, welcome smart plan, then they go straight onto the 8x8, and then at the end of the 8x8, they go to, the yearly 12 touches once a month type thing. You can make it as aggressive or as lax as you want it to be. So let's just go ahead. So when we add them to the smart plan, we want to send an email right away. So you can have a simple email or an HTML email. Now what you can do is simple email is, you can bold, underline, change the color of text, insert a link and all that good stuff. So that's it. If you go into designs and you create an email, like one of those graphics that has information with a new listing, it's what you get probably almost every day by some other agent that says, oh, a new listing from blah, 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 blah. Like you can create that graphic that says, hey, I've got a new listing, and then you put that on a smart plan that says, new listing. So all your buyers get, your new listing, whatever. But you can just select your email templates right from here, and I don't really have anything. I feel like I've got the promote your app, work with me seller, work with me buyer, so we can go work with me seller. So now they're going to get this they're going to get this graphic here that says, selling your home is complicated. I'm here when you're ready. Largest network, latest technology, blah, blah, blah. Let's work together. It's got links, download my app, first name, last name, and all of the normal things that you'd want to have. So that's it. You could just say that, and then maybe that's something that comes in. When I build these, I like to typically have a general scenario in my mind already of what we're going to be accomplishing with these tasks. But we could just say it's just a new lead from someone that you met. So these are just going to be all new leads. These are all going to be new seller leads, touches.
These
So
templates, are you able to work, create it through Publisher or maybe through
Oh.
something and link it over, or how do you?
yeah. So here's designs right here. These are all the ones that I've created right now. This morning I went and I created a new landing page, all this good stuff. But here's,
Cool. So you did that one like that bottom.
yeah. So these are email templates, which I haven't really done anything. Social templates, like all of these social ones I've created. There's some print ones, which you can use business cards, you can whatever. Your agent site, this is all the pages on my agent site. Here's some videos, which we don't have a video. That's new. I have not created the video yet. So if we wanted to create an email design, we can go ahead and hit next. So what you get is you just get a blank template here. If you wanted to create your own, we could do that, but there's a lot of, hold on a second. You can do a one section, so that'll have one thing, and then you could do like a 3 section, so you have, a picture up here, and then boom, 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 3 littler pictures here, and then we can add this text box. You can actually insert HTML in that text box, and it will show up. So there's just so much here that you can do, and then once you get in here, then you can, add inside that section, you can add text, and then you can add text, and then you can add an image. And then let's see, we're going to do a bigger image up top, so that's fine. I'm not going to actually put images in here. So that image will be up there, and then you have text, and another image. Here's more text. You can just keep making this out however you want. You can make your own newsletter. You can make, anything that you want to put in there. Or you can come back in here. I'm not going to save this. When you do email, it only opens up a blank one. When you go social, it actually opens up all the design templates, which is where we want to look here. So we're going to open up all these design templates here. And this includes emails, pre-configured email type things, pre-configured for listings. Oh, they've categorized them now, which is nice. So for listings, so you have your for sale, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. So these are different shapes and sizes. Instagram's a 1-to-1 square. Facebook is 6 to 9 or something. Instagram stories is the long way, you know. But these are also really good. You can use these images and you can create something like this and put it in your email. Some new designs here for Facebook. Family reunion, 2020 New Year. Thankful. Looks like I did this one right here for Valentine's Day for my listing.
So it's pretty easy to manipulate it as far as just moving,
Yeah.
like adding text, moving things around on top of the picture.
Yeah, and if you go into your My Designs right here, you can create a design and it's just a blank. And then you can select how big you want it to be. You can create a 50 by 50 icon, like 50 by 50 pixel icon, or you can create a poster size, design. So this is where you go. If something didn't fit the box that you were looking for, your Instagram or your like Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook or whatever, you can go here and create your own design, whatever you want. There are, I was trying to find where oh, maybe this is what I'm looking for. No, this is the library. So these are all the different things that you can create a library of your own assets and like your, I updated my own fonts because there's a lot of fonts that I use in my own personal advertising, so I can add my own fonts. Text, I already have words already there. Images that I like to use is just my headshot and then my Bitmoji. Those are the two things I use the most. And then basic company details. So that's something that you would need to fill out on your own, but it will pull from your marketing profile. Email signatures. So you can create an email signature if you want to have a nice email signature that attaches to your emails. I know. Oh, maybe it's under print here. So under print here, you got postcards, flyers, standard postcards, listing presentations. This is where you get the two different templates for your listing presentation that you can edit. For buyer, there's two different buyers presentations that you can send out to new buyers. You can save them and send them out as an email. That can be part of your touches. Like, hey, here's an email. Like, hey, thanks for registering with my website. I'd love to send you my buyer guide so I can explain you the overview of the process, because a lot of people don't understand what the process is. So you have those. So home value, door hangers, standard postcards, flyers. I really thought so. The new designs are the books and the standard postcard for family reunion, which is already over.
Just a quick question, Brian.
Yep.
So those templates, you could email them, is what you're trying to say?
Mm-hmm. Yep. All of those are emailable. Any picture, you can include any picture in an email. And then, so you can create a video based on, let's see. What do you mean? All right, so let's just use Spring Valley Lake. So here's all the data that comes up on Spring Valley Lake. It's the name, Spring Valley Lake. Your average home price is $522,000. Average home prices are on the rise. Average price per square foot. Now these are all editable. So if you're looking at these stats and you're like, these are a little bit off, which they can be because they can also include land. And so land is going to throw off the stats of average prices and square footage and all that stuff. So you've got all this stuff, and then you have your agent information. I've got that in here. Market center brokerage, all that's in here. Hit next. It's going to generate a video now that we should be able to watch. You can email this to all of your buyers who are looking at the Spring Valley Lake neighborhood. right, so that's a cool little video that it makes, and then I can post that on my social account. I can put that, in on Instagram or something like that, and people probably really like that. You can send it in an email. You can send it as an attachment. So those are some fun things there. But anyway, so when you create like an email template, when you create something like this, I wonder if I can. Oh, I didn't actually. Let's just use this. Oh, where did it go? There it is. Okay. So I can use that here, and I can do. We can. And then you can advertise, a listing that maybe you have, or I feel like there's even, is there? Settings, no. Body. So just the layout, then content. Let's see if we had. What is the up button? Okay, well, I can't. I can't type in it. What's going on? How do you get this link to work? I was trying to see if I can get a link to like a. Oh, there it goes. Apparently, you just type. Let's see. Open link in a new tab. Does it do that? No, it does not open the actual link. All right, well, so you can put in here, what's your home worth. And then put another picture of, something in there. So this is, let's get out of here. All right, so let's see. Anyway, so back to, no, what am I doing? Smart plans. Do I have that one? Did that one save? Yeah, I must have, because now I have 13. So custom touches, so let's go down here. So anyway, so you can use, when you create an email, you can use something that you have created, like one of these guys, or you can create your own email like you received when I sent out my email for the class. Okay, and then we're going to set a delay, and the delay can be up to 30 days maximum. You can do three days just so that you're not bombarding them, and then maybe you want to make a phone call. And this is just going to be a reminder to make a call. It's not actually going to make a phone call for you. Yeah, you can use these smart fields though, and then so that you know that, so the task name is going to be, oh geez. So call, and then we're going to say first name, last name. Oops. At, and then we're going to use that contact's phone number. This is the seller welcome smart plan. Ask if they got your email. And then if you want to create a link to something that you can use, maybe you're, I don't know, you're using some sort of a tracking software or something for your phone calls, you can add a link here so that when it pops up in your tasks, it'll say, oh, and then here's the link you can click, so it'll take you right to where you need to be. And then say due in days. So if we send an email on day one, let's just call it Monday, 3 days later, so that's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So on Thursday, it's going to put in a contact for the make phone call. But let's just say you want to give yourself 2 days. You don't want to make it due just that day. You're not going to call them maybe that day. You're just saying, hey, sometime in the next couple of days, I'm going to need to call this person. So you can make the due in days too. I think you can do up to 14 days. So you have a 14-day window that you can give yourself to complete that task. Because otherwise, the next day, command is going to say, hey, this task is overdue. And if you're not following up and you're not doing the things that you're supposed to do, you're going to have a whole entire list of overdue tasks that you're going to need to follow up on. So while this does automate a lot of things and it does keep you on track, you do actually have to make the phone calls and do all the things that you set up to do, because lying to yourself is not going to help your business. It's just, it just is going to make you sit there. I was listening to the Think Like a CEO podcast this morning. It's Gary Keller. It's like half-hour episodes between Jay Papasan and Gary Keller. And he was talking about when he started doing all the trainings and everything. And he would say, like, you are never going to make more than you currently are making if you're never going to do more than what you're currently doing, you know? And that really resonated with me, because it's like, oh, I set up all these things or whatever, and sometimes I have a to-do list of overdue tasks because I didn't do the things that I'm supposed to do. So my goal now is to make sure that my task list is always cleared, and every morning when I come in at 9 o'clock, and I open up my command first thing, I look at what I have to do, and I do them right away. Because if I just do them right away, then they're done and they're over with. And usually it ends up resulting in something great. I picked up the phone the other day and, I got a listing. So I was like, oh, well, that's fantastic. Like, I wish I'd have done that 100 times, 3 weeks ago, or, whatever. So, anywho. So let's see. Once you've added things, you can click the little save button here, and then, what? Complete all required fields. Oh, there's a subject here. So this is going to be, I don't know, whatever, seller email. I would not actually send that to anybody because that would be weird. There's also this restart flow. So if you want to be real aggressive about like your touches or whatever, or maybe you're not really aggressive, you're sending one email a month and there's one touch and it's, send an email, wait 30 days, then you can restart the flow so that every 30 days it's sending an email, which is what the neighborhood market touch does, or smart plan does. It just sends an email, waits 30 days. Anyways, the only rule for restarting the flow is it has to be a minimum of 15 days in between tasks, or it has to be 15 days long. So you can't say, send a text message, wait 1 day, repeat the flow, and it's going to keep sending the same text message every day. You have to have your total smart plan has to total at least 15 days or more before you can restart and automate that like automatically. So if you have 15 touches and 15 days, you can restart it, and for another 15 days, it will, retouch those people every 15 days, and that's pretty aggressive. So. Let's see, set delay, you can add to smart plan, you can set it, if you have your Twilio account set up, it says mine is connected. If yours is not connected, it'll be a red box and it'll say your Twilio account is not set up. Please do so in settings. There's two different options. There's a static message, which is just, I always go like, hey, first name. Have you looked over the info I sent you? Right? So it's pretty easy. And then I usually do my BC, my DRE, and my website. So those aren't what I would actually put. I would put all of it spelled out. But for time, I'm just going to go ahead and abbreviate here. that's something that would send. So right now you have send an email, wait 3 days, call, and then text message on the same day are going to show up. So we probably should have added another delay for, let's just say 2 days. And then we can move this one up a little bit so that way we have a delay between our phone call and then our text message. What was I going to go with? Oh, okay. So there's 2 different types of text messages that you can send. One's a static and one's a dynamic. And what dynamic is that, especially if you're going to have something that repeats, you don't want to send the exact same text message twice, even if it's 15, 20 days apart, because if you haven't texted them in between it, they're just going to have 2 text messages that are identical, and it's going to look kind of weird. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be that person. So you can set it up so that on the first pass, it sends 1 text message, and on the second pass, it sends a second text message. So again, as long as this is 15 days long and you have it repeat, this text message, then now for the second pass, I could say, hi, last name, probably not last name, that would be bad, but anyways, hi, last name, let's see, haven't heard from you in a minute. Still want to sell in 2020, right? And then I've got my BC, DRE, and website. So that's fine. So then that way they're not getting the exact same message. It looks a little bit different, and it just seems like that I'm actually doing this. But these are all going to be pretty generic to to the type of person that you're trying to reach. Whether it's a seller lead, you can just do everything kind of seller related, but very specific to that person. You can create a smart plan for every single person that you get a lead for. If you get a really good lead that they give you their address and you've talked to them and whatever, you can set them up on a smart plan that'll touch them every single month, and you can call them by name and send them emails that are all just about their houses, whatever. I mean, there's tools that'll do that for you, but you could set a smart plan up for every single contact that you have if you wanted to do that. Like, that's a lot of work, and if you're like, hey, I'm going to sit down and for one day, I'm just going to set up a smart plan for every single person. That's going to include a call, 30 days later, a text message, 20 days later, an email, and then 15 days later, another text message, and then I'm going to repeat it, 3 times or whatever, until they've responded enough and they're like, that you've developed that relationship that you can take them off that smart plan. Just something to nurture them, and you can just call it like Joe Bob's Nurture Plan. Whatever you want to do, it's really unlimited as far as how you want to set it up.
You mentioned the alternative to email being a possibility of text.
Mm-hmm.
Text to the system.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll send a text message. I'm sure you've gotten a text message from me in the last few days. I'm sure almost every single one of you have, reminding you about the 6 Personal Perspectives class. That was all from there. I just set it up, said, hey, if you've already enrolled, whatever, then you can ignore this or whatever. But that number just was my Twilio account that I bought a local Victorville number. It costs $1 a month. Again, it's one of those things where you prepay like $20, and then it costs $1 a month to have your local number. Otherwise, I think you get an Austin, Texas number for free. And then it charges like 0.07 cents per text message sent and received. So there was 85 of people that I sent out messages to. Some people sent 1 to 3, responses. So I'm looking at, an average about $1 a person. So
it won't be able to use your current.
it does not use your current phone number. It is a different number. I just tell people, it's like, look, this is just my my business line, because you can receive phone calls on it. It will.
If you're able to get a printout as far as the info, that's how to go about doing this.
Probably not a printout, but yeah, you can just go into your command settings, and under settings, I just left that. That's a bummer. You go into Twilio right here, and then it'll say connect account, and then you can it'll just walk you through signing up, the sign-up process.
Is there a tutorial in there because this is like my first class here, and then I've only been set up, I guess, like a couple of days. So the only thing I was able to do was put my picture in there on some something,
Mhm.
and then change the backdrop. But even the backdrop was way too big for the space.
Yeah, when you signed up, the email that you got from Jennifer should have included a PDF that has all of the basic information on how to get started and get worked up. Me and her went through and we figured out a checklist for new agents to market profile and everything. We can set up an appointment for one-on-one and, you know,
At this point, if this is like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how to.
yeah,
Do
yeah,
I start putting clients in first?
yeah.
Or do I? Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
contacts always come first in command. You know, the whole point is to have your contacts, and then from your contacts, you're going to have from your contacts. Once you have them in here, then you have the opportunities, which is where you track your contact going through all the different stages of buying, selling, or whatever. And then you can add them to your smart plans. You can create tasks around that contact so that you're constantly reminded and you know, of the things that you need to do. Whether it's, you know, nurture them, you know, you're calling them every couple of weeks, or they found a house, or they're in a transaction with you right now. So you create notes, and then they also have saved searches, which you can now is going to work interactively with the app when that is fully functional. So
Checked it out recently?
yeah,
First couple of days, that's what I should be doing.
yeah,
Pumping in people.
yeah. And if you have, there's ways that you can use PieSync to import your contacts bulk, like in large amounts from your other accounts, from different accounts. So if you have like iCloud or maybe Yahoo, or I don't really know what everything it supports, but you can basically connect the two so that all your contacts come over. All my contacts were in iCloud, so they had an iCloud option, so it was easy to move everything over.
The only thing about that is I might suggest adding a tag, like
Yeah.
contacts from iCloud, contacts
Yeah.
from wherever, just so you know. Otherwise, it'll just be in there and jumbled mess if you have over 500 contacts.
Yeah, I definitely had to go through and kind of sort through some of the things that didn't come out right or whatever. It definitely is not it's not a just sign up and it's good to go. Like, you got to get in there and touch it and play with it and correct some things, and sometimes things go wonky. I don't think you can add a contact. I don't think you can add a tag right now, but what you can do is when you're in your contacts, you can sort by the date created. And then everything that was just updated will be first at the top. And that's how I have my contacts always sorted, so that if new leads drop in overnight or whatever, when I open up Command in the morning, I can see exactly who the newest people are right up top, who I need to touch right away. So yeah, if you haven't logged in, definitely log in and try to get at least get your contacts going. Maybe just the people that you're working with, you know, your active buyers, your active listings or whatever, because they're the ones that you're going to be able to play with the most, because you're touching them, you're working with them, you can add activities, you can add them to your opportunities so you can see how the opportunities works, which also will show you how your reports works. So you can track all of your numbers, which if you want to grow and you want to, you know, do more things, you have to know your numbers, and you have to be able to track those numbers so you know how many appointments it takes to get to listing, how many listings it takes to get to capping, and, you know, how long it takes to cap, and all of those things. So contacts is where it all starts. So at a bare minimum, log in, add some contacts. Hopefully there are people that you're currently working with, and then play with them. See what you can do. One of the fun things that I like to do, and I did it this morning, is I go down here to this little plus mark, and you can add an activity, you can add a note, or you can add a calendar event. And it's really great because my calendar is Google Calendars. It's the only calendar that I love to use. And so I can add an event straight from my command that syncs to my phone's calendar. So when I look and say, oh, I have an open house coming up this weekend because I added it in command. But these activities are fun little things. So let's just say I sent a text message this morning from my phone, not an automated smart plan. So I can write here that this is sent text about upcoming open house in Apple Valley. Okay, and I can save it, and then right here it'll show. Right here it'll show. Man, right here it'll show. Come on. What's going on? Maybe I didn't push the button right. Interaction, text, open house. Oh my goodness. It's going to be like that. It's that kind of morning, huh? Okay.
Maybe it's because they didn't click on the has responded button.
No, that typically means the has responded is going to be a tool that you can use when, let's say they're responding to something from a smart plan. You can add the activity and then it says, by checking this box, you are noting that you have been interacted with this contact. If applicable, it will remove this contact from all outcome-based smart plans, such as 8x8 and 10 Days of Pain. So if this contact was on the 8x8 and they started texting me whatever back from my Twilio account, I can click on add an activity, has responded, and save, and then, or whatever, add the contact type of activity, and it's going to log one of these little boxes here that says, text and message has responded, for February 25th, all that stuff. And then it's going to kick them off the 8x8 touch plan because that's a really aggressive, like, have you heard from me? Like, by the end, they're like, do you still need my help? Are you going to be, blah, blah, blah. And if they're like, yeah, I'm still getting these messages. Like, I've talked to you already. Why are you being so crazy with me right now? So that should kick them off when they click on that. If they're on that kind of an aggressive smart plan, it should kick them off of that smart plan so they're not continually receiving aggressive messages from you saying, why are you yelling at me? We talked yesterday. So
You already have it listed.
yeah,
and you're still
exactly. So they must be doing something today because, yeah, this is being a little bit wonky this morning. So, but you can log all different types of activities. You can text message. If you had a meeting, if you had a buyer consultation, you log the meeting in there so that you know, hey, I met this person in person. Maybe this one will work. Maybe it's just text messages. Nope, it's not. So you can create a task straight from here, or you can go into your tasks and you can create a new task, and then you can associate it. You can associate it with a contact if you'd like. Otherwise, you can just create a task that's just generic. That's not necessarily it could just be hey, I got to look through all of my paperwork, go over with Paula all my, my documents that I need to review, or, get with Brian so that he can, send my paycheck to me, whatever. There's a million things you can do. This is completely, really nice. Once you get in there, you have to play with it. It's going to be something that's not going to be super intuitive like the first time you log in, but once you start messing around with it and you got to build your workflow with the technology that we have, it's all in one system. It all will work hand in hand. There's going to be bugs, so sometimes stuff doesn't work, and you can text me or call me if something's not, functioning right. Typically, if there's a major outage, I try to let people know that, hey, Command's not working today because they're doing stuff. But I'm in about 27 different Facebook groups for Command, so my Facebook now is not even social media anymore. It's just Command Media, just all of the different things that go on because so many people are posting so much stuff. So
when do you think the app and the consumer experience will be ready?
I mean, if they're just browsing, I feel like it's fine. But if they're serious looking right now, I don't think that the app is all the way there. I've tried looking for specific listings, and yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's pretty looking for sure. I really like the guides in there. There's a tab for guides at the bottom or wherever. So if they're looking to buy, you can customize this buyer guide that they can check off steps. Like, oh, we're going to find a house. We're going to get a pre-approval. We're going to have our inspection. So whatever your typical transaction workflow is, you can go in there and customize that. You can customize it right here under your consumer tab. And then under URLs, we're going to be here. You have is this your guide builder? Yeah. So here's your buyer's guide has 9 steps. I'm not sure what 4 clients means, but so here it is. So start your search. And then each one of these has a, nice little picture, and there's a subtitle. This is your subtitle here, but then there's a lot more down here that they can read, and gives them a lot more detail. And then when they're done, they can check that box off and get pre-approved. So you can put in there, like your preferred lender's information. You can put Don's, email address and phone number in there so that your buyers know exactly who to call, when to call, and there's no confusion about it. There's tour homes, so this is what you would set, where you would set your parameters and expectations for buyers looking at homes. Maybe in between tour homes and get pre-approved, you're going to want to have a consultation. So just like we talked about in Win with Buyers, you can sit down, listen to what they want, need. You can search the MLS and find hopefully only 2 or 3 homes that one of them is going to be the winner. And then you're not out there showing them homes, for 3 days. Because this could set up, I don't know what it says under here. This could set it up, the expectation that you're going to chuck them around Victorville and, Apple Valley and Hesperia, and you're going to cover all 75 miles, within 1 day, and we're going to just spend the whole entire day looking at homes, and maybe it says in there you're going to buy them lunch. You never know. So you got to edit that.
That's what I was gonna say, you can't just start automatically sending this stuff.
It's fairly generic, so it is pretty much ready to go. There's not going to have anything in there, but I just want you guys to get in there and play with it because it's going to, make everything look nice. If you have your own pictures, you know what I mean? Like if you take pictures, you have pictures of your own listings, customize the pictures because these are really pretty and these are nice or whatever, but who are these people? Like, I don't know those people, and it just says contract at the top. Like, ask your buyers, like, hey, when we're signing our contract, would you mind if I take a picture while you're signing your contract? Just a picture of their hand signing an actual RPA. I feel like that would probably look a lot more real than something like this. So you'd go through here and you would, all these steps: home insurance, home warranty, closing. Like a lot of these closing things, a lot of the country uses a closing table where everybody has to meet and sign all the documents. Blah blah. Like here, we don't do that. Like we just send an email to escrow and say, "Are we closed? We're closed." All right, yay! And then we go celebrate and move about our day. So. You might want to update that so that it's a little bit more accurate, when they talk about like the closing table or whatever, change it to the closing email, whatever. So this is a fun little thing. Again, this is the consumer app, and then it's under the guide builder. There's also an introduction. Typically, I think most people have found that they have used the name Paul in here.
Mine did.
Yeah, so was mine. So it just says that Paul will give you in-steps onto each step. So you'll definitely need to change that, unless your name is Paul, in which case then it's set up for you perfectly. Don't worry about it. And I don't think we have any Pauls here, so you should definitely do that in your introduction. Make sure you change your name from Paul. I don't know why they chose the name. I feel like it's an insight, or it was an oversight on their behalf. But site pages, yeah. So that's pretty much it. Anybody have any questions? You started like what?
Well, since you pretty much completed this, you mentioned app. I understand we have a new KW app.
Mhm.
What do? We delete the old KW app?
Honestly, I wouldn't. I would just let it update on its own because it'll update on its own the next time it goes, whatever it needs to update. If you've downloaded the Red KW app before and you have it on your phone, honestly, it's easier just to leave it. I'm assuming that when they actually get around to forcing the updates for people who have it downloaded, they'll have more of the bugs worked out. What's happening is that, like 100,000 Keller Williams agents all deleted it and downloaded their own, and it's a consumer app. So they're trying to log in with their Keller Williams credentials, and it's like this is not like the last app had an agent login section. This app does not have an agent login section because we have Kelly in command. That's our agent login. This app is just for consumers. When someone downloads the app and they sign up and create an account, you get that information in your command. So typically it can't be a person who has their email already in command because it may cause problems. So if they've already downloaded the app, you would just wait until they would wait until that it comes up.
This one just leaves.
That's just your MyKW website. Yeah, that's not anything. The KW app is the phone application on your phone that consumers are going to use to search for homes. It's going to take the So
So how do I get into it?
you have to create a fake, you have to use your personal email address and create an account. You can't use an email address that you already have in Command. So if you have all of your personal email addresses saved as a contact in Command, it's probably not going to work.
So I gotta make up another account?
So you'd have to make up an account. That's the problem. Everybody's like, oh, I want to see what it looks like. It's like, okay, well, then you just have to log in as a consumer because this is 100% for the consumer experience. So if you want to find, that kind of thing. Otherwise, you don't need to get in there because you can share your app. If you do log in and you do create a consumer, it's going to ask you who's your agent. You can select yourself as your agent, and then you can use that as a tool to share your app to other people that should be branded to you so that when they download it, you will already be selected as the agent. So you can use that. Otherwise, you can share it from Command. There's a ton of different ways. One of the site, go into your site and app settings from your consumer tab to site and app settings, and then you have URLs.
To all the other people you
Yeah.
shared it with when it was the other one? They're automatically in there still?
Yeah, eventually it should update, and as long as people who are deleting it and re-downloading it so that they can get the new app, it was clearing out the agent branding. So when they had to create a new account and log in, and it was not branded to the agents were like, well, this isn't working. It's like, well, you did it wrong. So, like, if you're gonna force it, you also have to force it to be your agent again. Otherwise, if you just let your people just keep using the same app that they have been using, when it updates, it should update. It'll update with the new one, but it'll also already be branded to you, and then it shouldn't be a problem. So
How do we share this one to new people?
yeah, so if you go under your consumer tab here and then go to site and app settings, under URLs, right here is your app URL. You can copy this, or you can your app code. It says you can text this code. Like for me, it's KW2BQMTMF, and then I can text that to 8778, which I believe is Kelly, K-E-L-L-E. No, I don't think that's right. Maybe it's not. But anyways, you can text that to 87778 or whatever, and then it'll provide a link to download your app. And then the app, that's how you would share it. So you would have to know what this code is. If anybody, you can also direct anybody to your website. If they're on mobile, I don't even think I think it's on any. Let me see. So if I go to my website here, accept the cookies, okay, and then let's see, I'll search for current location. Yep. Okay. No results found. Okay, so maybe it does only work on the
So by
mobile app.
putting a picture and when I change like I said, the background, do I already have a website then? Or no? I have to do more?
No, you'll need to go through your consumer tab here, and then on the bottom here it'll say configure your site, or you go up to your site and app settings, but sometimes you don't have this button. And then you'll go through the Kelly Guides, learn more with Kelly Guides, agent site options, and you say, I want to use the new KW site, and then you hit submit, and then it'll go through the whole entire thing to set up all of your websites. It'll set up your marketing profile and everything.
Actually, I don't know what I've done at this point.
Yeah, so I would just go to the consumer and then do the, site and app settings, or at the bottom it'll say, configure my website. That's where you're going to want to start.
See where you have your little character up there next to your name?
Mhm.
I couldn't get anything up there.
So this right here is pulling from your Connect account. So over here in Connect. Yep, let's go. So in Connect, you have to open up the whole KW Connect. And then if you log in, which of course, yeah. So when you log in here, you have your edit your profile, and this is where your information will pull from.
Oh, yeah, see, I haven't even gotten it in there.
So go there.
Oh, wait, but I remember seeing the bio, and I do remember seeing, choosing, areas that I'll work with.
Yeah, so in your settings, you should have a marketing profile under your Connect settings. And so this is going to also give you similar things.
I kind of think that's probably what
So this is where you have all your brokerage information, whatever. So this will pull, your website will pull from that. Your website will pull from your marketing profile. Your command pulls from your Connect profile. So it's two different things. Your command system is going to pull from your Connect, and then your marketing profile is going to push all that information out to your website. All the consumer-facing stuff is going to see this, is going to see your marketing profile, because it's for marketing. All of your stuff is going to pull from KW Connect, which pulls also from your white pages, your My KW. So if you actually look, if you direct anybody to your website on their phone, at the very bottom, it's going to say, find your home faster, download the KW app for quick access to thousands of listings, and you hit that button, and then it's going to allow them to download the app. So all you have to do is direct someone, say, oh, on your phone, go to, my, whatever your subdomain.kw.com is, and they'll be prompted to download the app now. So that's how you can also share it. And then you can just tell them, hey, once you get there, it'll ask for your agent, just put in my name and your agent, and then you're good to go. Because it will not automatically do that right from your webpage. So that's pretty much it. Again, if you have, obviously, everybody's gonna have more questions, but if you're curious about the landing pages, on my YouTube channel, I have all of the videos that I've done for setting up a landing page, which is a really, 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 really easy way to generate buyer leads, especially if you have a listing or if you know someone who will let you advertise their listing. I just called a Century 21 agent tonight because I have a friend who is friends with a seller who has decided to sell their house, and he said, hey, I know you're an agent, like they really need to sell their house real quick, so would you mind advertising their listing? And I said, all right. So I called up the agent and said, hey, I'm a friend of the sellers or whatever, and I just want to help them. Maybe I can drum up a buyer for you, whatever. I was like, is it cool if I advertise your listing? Of course, they're like, yeah, please do that. Right. I'm like, great. So perfect. So I created a landing page so that I don't have to, oops, where is it?
So have you generated a lot of buyer leads through it?
Yeah, I haven't. This one I just published. So Blue Colt Way. So I just created this landing page here. It's got the main picture. It's got all of the stats for the house. Here's what the agent wrote about the property itself, and then here's the carousel of all of the different pictures so that people can scroll through. Details, a map of where the property actually is located so they can see where it is, and then schedule a showing right here on. So all of my leads will come straight into my command. I'll be notified that I have a new lead. I can share this in all the Facebook groups because it's got its own unique URL. And I went a step further, and since I have my own domain that I purchased, I created a subdomain of that just specifically for this URL. So now I created, it's 15910bluecolt.listingguru.com. So all I have to do is share that one, and it'll forward directly to my landing page. It matches up with all my marketing and everything else and all of the social things that I've got going on. So it's a much easier way. And then I don't have to remember this giant pages.kw.brianjcollins.424, whatever. Like, I don't have to remember any of that stuff. I don't have to save it anywhere. I can just say, I'll have to, as long as I know the address, 15910bluecolt.listingguru.com. Like, that's it. And it's easy. And then I can remember that. So, you're looking for a house? Here, I got one for you. So, but that's available if you purchased a domain name for your website. Like if you had, Brian's Realty.
See, I have a domain name, so would I?
You'd be able to do, in GoDaddy, you can have unlimited subdomains. So,
Right.
You can create a subdomain for that. I have one app.listingguruca.com. I have another one that's value.listingguruca.com or whatever, so that I can have all my home value stuff. I can just remember a real quick subdomain, and then it sends it right off.
What I've been using now is on Facebook, I create a landing page.
Yeah, and that's great,
for
but
the house.
all of the leads for that kind of stuff, they're not going to feed into
Not
your
at all,
command.
yeah.
And campaigns, you can create paid ads that all of the leads will feed directly into your campaign, and you'll get a notification on your phone that says, hey, you got a new lead. I woke up this morning, I had 3 new leads, and it's just like, man, I love lead generating when I'm sleeping. There's nothing better than waking up to brand new leads to call in the morning.
But that's from this command.
That's from this
you
command.
couldn't get anybody responds to the Facebook one wouldn't come up in here.
No, they won't come up in here. You can still I still create ads on Facebook.
Instagram, that's what I've been using.
And you can do Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter from command. Yeah, so and they're all paid ads or whatever. They just work a little bit differently on Facebook. When you pay for an ad, it pays as you go. It'll only charge you a little bit, whatever. If you have like a $50 budget for your ad, it'll charge you like, $2 or $3, every few days or whatever. It'll pay as you go. With command or whatever, because of the way that they have it set up, you pay for the whole, whatever your budget is, you pay that whole budget that at the time of your ad. And then the KW app behind the scenes will pull that money as they need it for the length of the ad that you're running. I have another video up there on how to create ads and stuff. So.
That the advertising through command is more effective than the.
Yeah, honestly, it really is. I mean, I have like this. This is a 10-day, $30 budget lead. It was just straight to my landing page for my listing. I had 16 leads captured. That was just from Facebook. This right here, this is a home value, trying to get the home valuation to try and generate seller leads. And I got 11 leads between Facebook and Instagram. And that was a $100 budget, and it's still going. It still has a few more days left. I did this exact same ad in Facebook Messenger. I got 4 leads.
Wow.
So, I got over twice as many for the same audience, the same everything, same settings that I used, the same pictures, same verbiage, same everything. I got 4 leads versus 11 leads in command. So, and then those ones I had to download to see a spreadsheet and then copy and paste all their information into command so that I had them in there.
Not only did you get more leads doing it this way, but it was much easier.
Yeah, and it was so much easier. Just a click, click, done. So, highly recommend looking into the campaigns. Yeah, and we're super late, so. All right.
What was your YouTube address again, Brian?
What?
Your YouTube address, you said you posted the videos?
Oh yeah, it's just Listing Guru CA on Facebook. Or I'm sorry, it's on everything.
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I can't wait to get hold of it. So
I know.
say that we can call you and kind of make one-on-one appointment.
Yep.
And also, how do I get my K. Williams email address so I get that off of this program?
Yeah, you'll go. Well, you'll go to mykw.kw.com. And then under technology, you go under KW email.
Okay.
And then you'll either sign up if you don't. Typically, right now, I think if you've joined in the last few months, I think it automatically now creates a KW email for you. So if you click sign up, most likely it's going to say, oh, you have an email address, and then it's going to give you what the email address is, and then you can go into manage, and then if you already have it. So, yeah, I got one up on my desk. If you want to grab one on your way out, that'd be.
My KW,
Yeah. Huh?
KW,
mykw.kw.com.
So just leave the app alone then, till it.
Yeah. Yeah. The app has got some work to be done, so.